Thank you for joining me here this evening. The time is currently 9:43 p.m. Central, and you have a live look at an ongoing severe weather outbreak in the Texas Panhandle. We have had severe storm after severe storm battering portions of the Texas Panhandle today, leaving thousands without power. We have had so many reports of wind damage, some large hail reports even. As we can see, Amarillo has gotten slammed by all three of those threats. Flash flooding, damaging winds, large hail, all those things just ripped through Amarillo. Alright, Amarillo has reports of large trees down. Alright, we've also got reports of some power lines down and stuff. It is bad what we are seeing out of Amarillo. Alright, and currently we have about 1,500 customers in Potter County without power. We also have about 500 customers in Castro County without power here. So in total, I mean, we've got, thousands of people once again without power here in the Texas Panhandle as golf ball sized hail and damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour have battered portions of the state today. Again, mainly affecting the Texas Panhandle. We've had a few stronger cells out here in western Oklahoma, but it hasn't been anything too crazy. And we are here to watch this die out, you guys, right? We watched this whenever it was first getting started. We saw the first severe warning that was issued in the Texas Panhandle today, and now we're going to be seeing the last. Currently, we have severe warnings for areas like Plainview. We've got one for Wellington, and we've even got one for Muleshoe. If you're in any of those areas, you should be indoors. Mainly right now, we're just talking about some 60-mile-per-hour winds and some penny-sized hail in some instances. Again, if you're in Amarillo, do not drive. You have a flash flood warning in effect. And we even actually have a storm up here, surprisingly, in northeast Nevada that has managed to warn a severe thunderstorm warning for areas off to the west of Highway 225 near the California mountain area. This is for the threats of 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and penny-sized hail. And believe it or not, guys, our strongest gust report out of today actually came out of Nevada here. All right, we had a 71-mile-per-hour wind gust reported out of Humboldt County. So again, we've had some pretty insane storms today across parts of Texas, but we've also had some big time storms today along the East Coast, alright, from New York to even up to like Maine down to Florida, all along the East Coast. We have had severe warnings, tornado warnings. It's been active. I believe we've actually had a tornado, if I'm correct, like an actual tornado that touched down. So it has been very active, all right? Now, again, the main area that we are focusing on at this point tonight is going to be the Texas Panhandle. We don't have anywhere else where we're facing the threat of severe weather. The closest thing to that, I would say, would be our storms in North Carolina. But even these, I mean, you can tell they have lost a lot of their steam, even since our stream this morning where they weren't super impressive. Now they're not impressive at all, right? So anyway, again, we are watching the final supercells roll through parts of the Texas Panhandle here tonight. So if you're just not tuning in, we are covering live severe weather across parts of Texas here and parts of Oklahoma. We have had our severe thunderstorm warning expire for the Wellington area. So that's an all clear for Wellington. So I'm going to go and pull up Stream Chat here, so if anybody has any questions about the location, feel free to leave those down below. If you have any other questions that I can answer, I'm happy to answer those as well. I'm happy to see all of our regular viewers back in the chat here once more. So, again, right now, we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in Texas, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning in Nevada. That's what we're worried about right now. The tornado threat is astronomically low at this point, and really even the hail threat. If we were to get a quarter-sized hailstone or larger for the rest of the night, I would be extremely surprised. At this point, this is going to be it, guys. Like I said, we were live for the first severe thunderstorm warning of the Texas Panhandle today, and we're going to be live for the last one. I mean, this is it. These are probably our final two warnings here, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. This one expires in 28 minutes, and this one expires in 13 minutes. So, we'll see what happens here. We'd have some power outages out here in the Carolinas. Lenoir County, North Carolina has about 450 customers without power. Catawba County actually has about 6,000 customers without power. And then we have Dillon County, South Carolina, with about 500 customers without power. Outages have been a big theme with today's event out here in the Texas Panhandle, because again, it's mainly been a large wind bag with winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour battering pretty much the entirety of the Panhandle. And the problem with these is it was the same areas getting hit over and over again. Like this morning, right, we went, our first severe warning was up here by areas like Leffers, and Leffers got several storms today that reached that intensity, I do believe. Even if we only push, 30 frames back, we can see storms in the Leffers area. And, this golf ball size hail report was not from the storm that we were covering live. So they got so many storms today in Leffers. It was such an incredibly active day for that region in terms of the severe weather threat. Luckily, we've not had any tornadoes out of Texas today, or at least any tornado warnings. I don't believe we've had any tornadoes either, though. So that's good. But anyway. Yeah, so actually both of our tornado reports that we have out today were land spouts. So I don't consider those fully fledged tornadoes. One of them did come out of the Orlando area in Florida, and the other came out of Florida as well, out of the Moorhaven region in Hendry County. Apparently we had an 82 mile per hour wind gust in Nevada today. That did not show up on Radar Omega here. We had an 82 mile per hour wind gust in Elko County. But that was also 6,300 feet elevated, so that's not that surprising, honestly. That's really nothing super impressive, if we're being frank. But yeah, for the most part, really just wind reports across the East Coast, wind reports from Texas, and then a couple wind reports from Nevada as well. So anyway, so I imagine there's a lot of people that are, thinking, can I go to sleep? All right, if they're out here in an area that's gotten hit hard by storms today. So I'm going to kind of answer some of those questions. So, we are not on the active radar scan. Let's go ahead and fix that. Clear skies for the Houston area. That is good. That's not super surprising, but that's always good to see. Especially after that area has been hit very hard over the past couple of months even. But anyway, all right, if you're in Amarillo, you're good to go to bed. All right, the storms are done in Amarillo. If you're a little bit further south, though, whoops, sorry, that was really loud. I did not mean to do that. If you're in Muleshoe or Plainview, you need to stay up and wait till these storms are over. You're in a severe thunderstorm warning, all right? These are some dangerous storms out here. Again, mainly capable of producing damaging winds, but maybe some isolated small hail as well. Let's talk about some of the other cities out here in the Texas Panhandle. Memphis, you are also good to go, right? You got some showers and storms in the vicinity. Specifically this big boy off to the east of you, but it's kind of dying out at this point, so I wouldn't be too worried. And that goes the same for Childress. Childress, you may get a few showers and thunderstorms, but nothing severe. Childress is good to go. A lot of our areas here are clear. It's really just areas in the southern tip of the Texas Panhandle at this point that we're worried about. We are talking about areas like Floyd, Briscoe, Hale, Swisher, Lamb, Castro, Palmer, Hale, and Bailey counties in the Panhandle of Texas. What's the risk for tomorrow? So the risk for tomorrow is actually kind of interesting. We have a slight risk of severe weather once more across parts of Kansas and Nebraska. Now, I think, and this is just my opinion, we are going to get an upgrade to this. All right, not only do I think this is going to get upgraded to an enhanced risk for damaging winds, but I also think the tornado threat is going to go from a 2% to a 5%. Now, if we take a look at the NAM, all right, you're going to see kind of why I'm thinking that. Right, the NAM is painting a very aggressive picture for tomorrow's event, all right? So this is 7 a.m. tomorrow. Some showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm in South Dakota, nothing crazy. But around 4 p.m., we have got some very intense supercells popping off here across portions of Nebraska and Kansas. And again, I think that if any one of these do become discrete enough early, we may have a big-time tornado threat. I think the biggest tornado threat actually is going to lie from the 3 to 4 p.m. time frame. And, the tornado threat, we could see a tornado as far south as the Oklahoma Panhandle and as far north as, northern Nebraska. All right, but 4 p.m. tomorrow. All right, this is where we start to see, a little bit more of a damaging wind threat develop. All right, we can kind of see the first signs of a little bow echo line of storms forming here in areas of far southwestern Nebraska, areas like Imperial, Madrid, Elsie, Hershey, North Platte. those are going to head southeast. They're also going to kind of merge with this big cluster of storms as it turns into a line for areas like Stapleton, Brewster. This is the 5 o'clock hour. Now 6, 7 o'clock, those are going to continue. Big time clusters of storms out here. And again, at times, line formation across parts of Nebraska. Now I'd also like to point out, we are just going to have a ton of moisture out there in the United States in general tomorrow. I mean, everywhere from California back into Illinois, we're going to have at least some rain showers. All right, it's going to be pretty active across the United States, honestly. Now, 8, 9, 10 p.m. tomorrow, we have a big-time severe weather threat for areas of northeast Kansas, southeast Nebraska, southwest Iowa, and northwestern Missouri. And then around 11, 12, that's going to kind of continue, but it's going to remain isolated down in northwest Missouri, where I think we're going to have some damaging wind potential with these bands of storms around the Kansas City area. And then around 3, 4, 5 a.m. tomorrow, on, I guess I should say, Saturday here, we don't see anything impressive. All right, maybe some lingering thunderstorms out here in parts of Missouri, areas like Jefferson City and St. Louis getting impacted by those, but it's not going to be anything crazy, all right? Now, we get into 10 a.m. tomorrow, those are going to continue, or sorry, not tomorrow, I keep saying tomorrow, but on Saturday, those are going to continue into my neck of the woods. All right, out here in portions of Illinois, we're going to be talking about some showers and thunderstorms. Those are going to continue to head southeast, roll through Indiana, Kentucky, and they're going to be done. Now, that brings us to Saturday's severe weather threat. Saturday, 3 p.m., big-time storms firing off across parts of eastern Colorado. Maybe an isolated tornado threat could develop if any of them do become discreet enough and take advantage fully of the environment that they're in. That would be great for them. They could have a chance to produce tornadoes, so they could be dangerous. Now, here's the problem. Tomorrow, the event starts at around 3 p.m., that's exactly whenever I'm going to be leaving. All right, I'm going to be out of state. So we're not going to be able to bring too much good live coverage to you guys tomorrow. We may do a stream in the morning, early afternoon. We'll see, but I'm not sure because there's not going to be much going on probably until the afternoon. Maybe we'll cover some storms in South Dakota, kind of talk about the severe weather event of that day, but we'll see. Grand Island, Lincoln, and North Platte and Omaha are going to get hit hard tomorrow. So, I mean, I can't guarantee that, but I will say there's going to be a good chance of some severe storms. Now, I wouldn't say they're going to be hit hard. Whenever I think of hit hard, I think of tornadoes, strong tornadoes. That's not what we're talking about, all right? We're talking about a mainly damaging wind threat, but maybe an isolated tornado threat, again, could develop if you're out here in portions of Nebraska and maybe far northern sections of Kansas here, northwestern Missouri, southwest Iowa. We'll see. But I wouldn't say they're going to get hit very hard. Just going to be, it's that late spring, early summertime pattern that we're in where we see severe weather outbreak after severe weather outbreak. Every day so far in June, we've had a severe weather outbreak. Yesterday, we even had a tornado outbreak. But anyway, back to today's event. Again, we are watching the final storms out here in the Panhandle of Texas. This is the finale, the grand finale event. We've got some storms rolling through the Plainview area that are severe. We've got some storms rolling through the Tam Ann area that are severe. So that's what we're looking at for the rest of the night here. Here. Actually, not even the rest of the night. I'd say, again, the threats are really going to die out over the next couple of hours. I think, by 3 a.m., we're going to be dealing with some showers at best. Across parts of Oklahoma it'll be, but I think the severe thunderstorm warnings, again, I think these two are our last severe thunderstorm warnings of the night. I think this is it, which is why I went ahead and went live. I wanted to go live for the first warning, the last warning, kind of talk about what was going to happen, and then at this last stream here, we're talking about, did that happen, did that not happen? Now, normally I'd have a stream in the middle for, active severe weather coverage, but guys, I was so tired today. Not to mention, I've done, 60 streams over the past month. That's sadly not an exaggeration, but I was also just ridiculously tired because I got horrible sleep last night, guys. It was really crappy. I got maybe 4 hours of low-quality sleep, so I was B. I took a little nap, though. I'm good to go now, and of course, now that I should probably go to sleep, it is the energy's pumping through my veins again, so anyway, that is what's going on, and that is why I didn't do a stream in the middle today, where we were actively covering severe weather. I mean, that's kind of what our stream this morning was, though, but it wasn't quite as active as it was this afternoon. I don't even remember. Was our stream this morning or this afternoon? It was around the noon time, so late morning, early afternoon, whatever you want to call it. So anyway. Again, we did have a couple of land spouts today in Florida, but no regular tornadoes. So, that's always good to see. But again, we are watching this dying cluster of showers and thunderstorms, if you're just now tuning in, across portions of the Texas Panhandle here to see if they produce any sort of final push of big-time severe weather potential. Now, these are technically, severe thunderstorms, but I mean, come on, guys. Come on. We don't go live for stuff like this. We're live here just to talk about what happened today and what our final warnings are, and I just want to watch them expire because there's no way they're going to reissue it for this. I mean, these are showers. These are heavy rain showers. These are not severe thunderstorms where you should be worried about them. And really at this point, our storms out here across parts of Palmer and Lamb counties, as well as Castro counties, are not either. They're not big-time storms. That warning may even get removed before it expires there. So, anyway. I mean, guys, look at all these wind reports today out of the Texas Panhandle. We had a 64 out of Tulia, a 61. We had a 61 out of Hart. We had a 59 out of Dimmitt. We had a 62 out of Palo Duro Canyon. We had a 64 out of Amarillo. And they just let that severe thunderstorm warning expire, so that's good. We had a 59 today out of Pantex. So lots of big-time wind reports today, and even some hail reports today. We had quarter-sized hail in Stinnett. We had also ping-pong ball-sized hail in Stinnett. We had golf ball-sized hail in Kingsmill. That was our biggest hailstorm of the day. The one in the late afternoon hours. We did actually go live in the afternoon. We did. It was like 2 or 3 p.m. It wasn't around noon. But it was not this storm. It was a storm after the stream ended, around the Leffers Pampa area. Whatever this specific county is here. I should just honestly go on a quest to memorize the Texas Panhandle counties, because we're talking about this area so much recently for blip watches and stuff like that. And what would you guys consider the Texas Panhandle? Would you say it splits off here, or would you go a row down and include Lubbock, or would you even go 2 rows down? Because, I mean, we still got those same square-shaped counties all the way up to here. But then again, if you're going by that logic, just square counties, you could go all the way to DFW. And that's definitely not the Texas Panhandle. That's just North Texas in general. So I don't know. I think the Texas Panhandle definitely cuts off on this row of counties, more specifically in the middle of the counties, where we lose this part of the boot shape. So 4.5 rows of counties in the Texas Panhandle, in my opinion. That's very hot takes on this 10:01 p.m. Thursday, June 6, 2024. So, while we're here, since it's going to be a while till the next Tropic Talks episode, and I'm not going to have even any more streams to have a chance to talk about this, let's talk about our upcoming tropical buddy out here in the Gulf. But for a lot of people, it's not going to be their buddy. It's going to be their enemy. But anyway, I went way too far. I accidentally went to the end of the run. So you can see, originally they were painting like a tropical depression slamming the Florida Panhandle. Well, now they're kind of saying, hey, maybe that goes a little bit further out to the west. Maybe it impacts areas like eastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and maybe just the far west tip of the Florida Panhandle. That's kind of some agreement they've had over the past several runs now. They, at one point, were going back and forth of, is it going to make landfall in the eastern portion of the Gulf or the western portion of the Gulf? And they had very specific tracks for both, and every, run of the GFS, they were going back and forth, back and forth. But I think they finally decided it's going to be in the Eastern Gulf here. All right. I would say no further west than New Orleans is where we're going to have a potential. Again, a potential. All right, this is a potential for a tropical system of some sorts. But you got to understand, guys, the GFS is wacko. All right, we cannot accurately predict weather over 200 hours out in 2024. I'm sorry. It's just not, it's not possible yet. The technology that we have is not advanced enough to accurately predict weather whenever you get past a certain period. So we really don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if that's even going to exist, right? For one, we don't know if it's going to turn into an actual tropical cyclone. But for two, we don't even know if it's going to exist. We don't know if there's going to be a low at all. So it's going to be one heck of a journey here over the next several days while we watch the GFS go back and forth on what it's deciding. So we'll see what happens. The European model. Let's do that. Well, we can't do that. That's great. That's kind of sad that I'm just now learning that you can't look at, I could have swore you could look at reflectivity with the European. Whatever. We can look at the 500 millibar wind, though. This is, the jet stream. Give me just a second here. That doesn't really help us, though, with our forecast for our little tropical buddy, though, does it? Well, never mind. That was useless. I don't know why I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Anyway, let's get back to covering our severe weather here. Again, if you're just not tuning in, southeastern Palmer, southwestern Castro, and northwestern Lamb counties in Texas have a severe thunderstorm warning for the threats of 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and hail up to penny size. So, if you're in that area, make sure that you are moving indoors immediately. Locations impacted include Hart and Lasbuddy. Lasbuddy. That's a weird name, though. We're just barely in a radar hole out here, man. We can't get good coverage, really, on the reflectivity, and we can't really at all on the velocities. See, because we got Lubbock, we got Amarillo, we got Clovis. You know, you'd be like, how do you have a radar hole? Just barely. I mean, this one just barely doesn't go far enough, and this one just barely doesn't go far enough, and this one just barely doesn't go far enough. But it's alright. We can still see a decent view of this storm. It's definitely not the worst radar hole in the country. And I think as these storms travel further south, these will be much easier to see on the Lubbock radar. But you know what? I don't think we're going to be dealing with them for too much longer again. I mean, just look at these guys. You really think these warrant a severe thunderstorm warning? Because I don't. I do not. I think whenever this one expires, that's going to be it. I do think they're going to let it expire. I don't think they're going to remove it beforehand. That's what I was thinking at one point, but I don't think that anymore. But anyway. I mean, we are just right in the radar area, aren't we? We are just... Like, if this was a little tad bit further north, it'd be Amarillo, and if it was a little tad bit further west, it would be Clovis. It's a little obnoxious, honestly. A little ridiculous. A little annoying. But it's not like they need a radar site out here. I mean, this is really the only spot in the Texas Panhandle that doesn't get... Actually, that's not true. The northern portion of the Texas Panhandle is pretty crappy radar coverage. Because we only have 2 radar sites in the Texas Panhandle. We only have Amarillo and Lubbock. And Lubbock is not in the Texas Panhandle, as we just discussed. So we have 1 radar site to cover the entirety of, let's see, 25 counties. It's a little ridiculous, come on. And it wouldn't be so bad if it was, a little further to the north, but, I mean, you are just in a complete radar dead zone in the northern half of the Texas Panhandle. Like, once you get to the north of Borger, that's it. I mean, the Perryton, Texas tornado last year, almost a year ago to this date, actually, impossible to look at. I'm sorry, it just is on radar. It's a good thing. It is a good thing that we had actual chasers out there that saw a very clear tornado. It was very strong, obviously, because we could not tell on the radar. It's not like it was like this where we had a, super defined hook echo. And, it might have been one if we were closer to the radar site. But out here, it looked more of like this. It was more of really just a circle over Perryton. So, anyway. Yeah, this warning does just barely technically include a sliver of northwest Lamb County. I would call it more north central Lamb County, but just a sliver there. So, anyway. Again, this is going to be probably our last severe warning of the night, guys. I don't expect to see any more of this going on. Yeah, this is just, it's not it. It is not what it was several hours ago, which is a good thing, but I'm just saying it is not impressing me in any way, shape, or form. Again, we are going to see some continuous flash flooding problems across Amarillo for a little bit here. All the way down towards Lake Tanglewood, and potentially as far south as Wayside Road, in between Interstate 27 and Highway 207 near Wayside. So, we'll watch out for that, obviously. And, unfortunately, we have a lot of power outages in this area, and there's probably a lot of people wondering, in southeastern Potter County, when am I going to get my power restored? There's 1,500 customers without power here. What are they going to do? Well, they really can't do anything for a little bit. All right, we got an entire corner of the county here that is very dangerous to travel in right now. And, I mean, it's nighttime anyway, guys. So, it might be until tomorrow until a lot of these people get their power back out here in Potter County. Because, again, we have flash flooding ongoing in this area. With the fact that it's night, you can't really see anything, and we have storms in the vicinity, I doubt they're going to be able to restore power out here for a little bit. It's going to definitely be at least until tomorrow until this area gets fixed. And there's our other... we have another 74 mile per hour gust from Nevada. We've had 3 gust reports over 70 miles per hour now today out of Nevada. One of them was even over 80 from severe thunderstorms. All of them being from Humboldt and Elko counties, by the way. Up in far northern sections of Nevada there. You don't even see a hail signature anymore with any of these storms. I mean, the hail threat is minuscule at best. I'm surprised they even have this on penny-sized hail. I would be very surprised if we got any hail out of this. I guess the vertically integrated liquid's actually showing a decent signature there. I mean, it's still not a lot, obviously, but maybe, some half-inch to maybe an isolated penny-sized hailstone I wouldn't rule out there. We've got up to 26.31 kilograms per meter squared. Okay, so maybe closer to, a half-inch hail at best. So I would still probably not have the penny-sized hail tag on there. But, at that point, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's, we're debating over 0.25 inches in diameter of a hailstone. I mean, there's not really going to be much of a difference from the impacts on that. And neither of them are going to really cause too much damage or anything. I think at best, that hail is going to be capable of damaging sensitive vegetation. But that's it. I mean, we're not going to see... It's not like, where we have massive hailstones, shattering windows and, cars and stuff. It's not like that. This is very minuscule amounts of hail, if we have any at all. Speaking of big-time hail, we had a record hailstone in Texas the other day. We've had two in the... top 5 biggest Texas hailstones in the past couple of weeks. We've had 2 of the placements in the past couple of weeks on that list. The weather's been so insane lately. But we do have a new Texas hailstone record. Pineapple-sized hailstone. That is not a joke. Pineapple-sized hail. That is ridiculous. Which, for reference, is about 6.4-inch hail. Alright, so this severe thunderstorm only expires in 1 minute. If they reissue it, we're going to keep the live stream going. But if not, we're going to end things off here. And I doubt they're going to reissue it at this point. It's not looking impressive to me at all. Again, at best, this is doing some gusty winds and very minuscule amounts of hail. But, yeah, I think we're going to end off the live stream here, so I do want to thank you all for tuning in. Let's wait a few seconds just to see if they're going to let this expire or if they're going to reissue it. But, again, I highly doubt they're going to reissue it there. So, thank you guys for 1,200 subscribers once again. Cannot believe we hit that already. But, anyway, yep, they have let this one expire now. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.